Anderson Japanese Garden is in Rockford, Illinois. The construction of this Japanese garden began in 1978 when a Rockford businessman named John Anderson was inspired by a visit to the Portland Japanese Garden in Oregon. With ongoing assistance of world-renowned master craftsmen and designers, the Anderson swampy backyard along Rockford's Spring Creek was transformed into a Japanese-style landscape. From groundbreaking to today, the placement of every rock, alignment of every tree, and layout of all paths have been made with careful consideration. In 1998, the Andersons donated the gardens, and it now exists as a not-for-profit entity and continues to grow and change to this day. As you stroll around the garden, you notice all the different paths. Paths are very important in a Japanese garden for strolling, contemplating, thinking. The paths may seem to be winding, but they are very deliberate. They are leading you through doorways, to different parts of the garden. They are linking you to the garden, to maybe a different view of the garden, or to a hidden pond or a grove, or perhaps a beautiful waterfall. Crossing this next bridge brought us to a beautiful lake they call the Garden of Reflection. It housed beautiful koi and ducks and was a really neat place to look. Now, koi are Japanese colored carp that were initially bred as a source of protein by rice farmers, but they realized they had such beautiful colors, they started breeding them to bring out these beautiful colors. So you could sit on the end of the dock and feed them. This tree is a weeping willow tree. It has witnessed the entire history of the gardens. When it was first planted, it was only a ½ inch in diameter. Lanterns are a very common element in Japanese gardens. They're usually placed by water for a nice glow or along the paths to help light them up at night. Plants are essential to a Japanese garden. They are carefully arranged, and great efforts are taken to maintain their beauty. Trees, shrubs, and lawns are meticulously manicured, and delicate mosses are even swept clean of debris. Even dry riverbeds are maintained, look like ripples of the water. This is a Japanese tea house. Japanese tea ceremony masters prepare and serve tea in accordance with a strict protocol learned at tea school. There are two beautiful waterfalls in the garden. This is the West Waterfall, Nishi no Taki. The construction of this waterfall took 3 years to complete. I visited the garden in September, the very beginning of fall. The burning bush is the first plant to begin the transformation to autumn. This is a typical Japanese countryside bridge that may lead you over a small stream to see some visitors. One of the last things you see in the garden are the sculptured angels, a universal symbol of goodwill and good deeds. Anderson Japanese Gardens has been rated one of North America's highest quality Japanese gardens for more than a decade, and it is well worth the visit.